of her rewards. She's the recipient of ABC Award thrice. She also holds Premium Club Award, which is given for creative employee engagement activities. Global Services Reward for balancing job demands. So all this said and done, we could not have a person better to start off with the said topic, fostering capability. Over to Mrs. Soundarya Lakshmi for her presentation. The screen is all yours, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Shanmati, the VTWise and Be the Leaders Foundation Group. This is a good opportunity for me to be part of this youths, the budding youths, the tomorrow's leaders. So I'm very grateful for VTWise and Be the Leaders Foundation to make me part of this session today. I would like to share my screen and just a second. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay. So once again, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's yeah. And let me know if I'm not audible better. I can then increase my volume.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. 1 minute. Krishna, can you take care of the mute, please?
Yes, I do that. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so while I start, and thank you for that nice introduction, Shanmati. It was a very good one. But I still have something to talk about in my future, in my further slides from here on. So I choose this fostering capability paradigm shift as one of the reason because it's so important as a budding youths. You'll have to focus on the ability to do something, and you need to be successful in your career, and you need to bring in those changes. You've been something so far, and how do you go to the next level of what you want to be, and how do you look at your future? And that's the paradigm shift that I'm talking about right now today. Okay, so something to know about Coimbatore. So I'm glad that the entire group is from Coimbatore. I'm talking to all of you today, but I also want to know whether I know Coimbatore or not. Just for you all to you might have questions. I'm from Bangalore. Do I know Coimbatore, and how much do I know? Yes, I do have my aunt and cousins living in Bangalore, in Coimbatore, sorry. And I have been there. Have I visited? Yes, I've been there a few times, and my childhood vacation has also been there during my school days in Coimbatore. I recently visited Amrita School of Business as a keynote speaker for MBA students, passing out MBA students. And what do I like about Coimbatore is primarily the climate. I think that's a nice, pleasant climate. Maybe it's very close to Ooty. It's good. The food there, the Tamil, the Congo Tamil, the Sirwani water. It's very good. Am I familiar with Coimbatore as a place? Yeah, I think I've lived in KK Pudur Sai Baba Colony, and I've also visited the temple, Marudamalai Murugan Temple, and the waterfalls. So I thought I'll just get a little more closer to you all by being familiar to your place, to your hometown. Okay. So what about myself, right? I did hear Shanmati talking a bit about myself. That was purely on a professional ground that she spoke about. I hail from Palghat, Thrissur, but I lived most of my childhood and until now in part of Bangalore. I say more or less as a Kannadiga, I would say. Born and brought up in Bangalore. My education has been in Bangalore, like I said. So what's unique about me is I never give up. That's the attitude I carry with me. I believe in myself. I'm very enthusiastic and energetic person, and also highly authentic about myself. What are my hobbies? They're a huge laundry list. I would say I like traveling, nature lover. I mean, I'm an avid yoga practitioner. I love cooking. I do gardening. I do listen to music, and I'm very fond of music. Carnatic and whatever that could be. Music is something I like, and I do dance, Bharatanatyam. I'm a very spiritual person. I do fashion designing. I like reading and articles, writing articles or blogs. That's my small family. My husband with the red cap, and my son with the black hat, and myself. My son is doing he's finished his graduation, and he is moving into his next step. That is, he's got his passion towards direction into movies. So he's taking a step into that direction. What is it I like being in Bangalore is the climate. I don't know how many of you all have been to Bangalore. Most of you must be, and if not, I would say the climate is very good. It's full of most of the places, and until recently, where there's a lot of, because of the high tech city, so called, you can see a lot of trees being cut off. Otherwise, it's been a garden city. The people, it's a metropolitan city. The local language, of course, I've got used to it. And it's also because of the diverse culture that I come across. I like this place. And for you all, if you have not been to Bangalore, so most the places that you can visit is Vidhan Sauda, Cubbon Park. There's England Windsor Castle. And then there's also a palace of Tipu Sultan. And of course, there's a shopping center called Commercial Street where you get anything and everything over there. There's a beautiful Lal Bagh, which has been for years. That's something it's got acres of land where you can go around and see the place. And the UB City and ISKCON. I did not put all of these pictures here, but I just picked up two. This is the ISKCON temple on the left, and then the other one is the UB City, which is very beautiful to see, and this is taken in the night. That's something about myself. Well, I move to the next slide. This is the, I see someone raising their hand. Is there something they want to ask? Venkat Varan? Should I proceed?
Yes, ma'am. Please do proceed, ma'am. And
Yeah.
we will have some questionnaire session at the end of the
Sure. Sure. Yeah. So I thought it was necessary, or it was important for me to bring this health and safety moment, especially with COVID around. I know all of us are into a situation where we are not as free as what we were last year, same time, or early this year. So we'll have to have some protocols followed. And I thought it's important that I take this moment here for some time to speak about it. So you must be aware it's so important. I also was, very surprised to see one person joining the call as all of you were logging in. I saw him with a mask, and which is very good. Very rarely we can see anyone joining the call with a mask. So one of the student was with a mask, I would say. So I think more important for me to take on this slide to give a message is that please avoid any shake hands or any hugs that you want to do with people. When you want to greet, please wave out. Or give a nod or bow, or do namaste. That's the best way to avoid any physical contact with people, and be safe from coronavirus. And I think you should be smart and inform yourself about it, and also be kind and supportive for one another. Wear your mask regularly, wash your hands, please wear your gloves as much as possible, and maintain social distancing. I wish this session was in person, but I think with the new normal, we are all moving into the trend of, the technology is supporting us, and we are moving into new normal, and that's the way it's going to be for some time until we are getting away from COVID. And I wish you all to be safe, as well as including your family. So I'll move on to the main agenda of the slide. So when I spoke about it earlier, I mentioned fostering capability for you. So when I say this, what does it mean? What I mean is help yourself grow and develop. That's so important that you need to be focused, and you need to help yourself how you need to grow and what is that you need to develop. You need to make sure that you have an ability within you to expand your capacity, right? There could be at times that where you feel your best days are behind you, and you might be thinking you're done, but actually you're not done, right? You haven't even begun. So that's where you stand right now. You're just beginning your journey. So which means that you have an ability to go far beyond your current capability. So how do you do that? How do you do that is by learning something. You need to do that by learning something that you have never learned before. That's where your knowledge grows. And as the knowledge grows, your capacity to understand and apply what you have gained the knowledge also grows. So when all of this comes in place, your understanding and you're applying it and your knowledge is also growing, your capacity becomes unlimited, and also your ability becomes unlimited. So every time you push yourself to a new level, and every time you push yourself to a level where you've never been before, that's where you grow and you expand your capacity.
Yes,
So I brought,
yes, yes.
sorry. Okay. So I brought this slide specifically to say that it is within you. It is you who can make it. You'll have to make that effort, that you can do it, and you'll have to believe in yourself that you'll be able to do it. You'll have to make that difference. You'll have to make sure that you're making a difference by learning, by studying, and you're not making yourself hold on to something that says that you cannot make it. You can make it. You have a great potential in you that you can make a big difference. So that's where you start, and you take it forward for you in your journey. And that's where you can see that if you make an effort for yourself, you will be able to grow, and at the same time your horizon would increase, and then you would expand your capacity. So I'm saying here in the next slide, skills change but capabilities endure. Capabilities, again, when I say, is doing something. But
Doing something means, what is the something? What is the something for development?
Yeah, so you need to have the you need to make sure that you're building up your skills, your whatever skills that you provide, you're developing yourself.
How to develop my skills?
How have you developed so far?
So far, okay. How to develop myself and develop my capability, and everything is how to develop.
That's what we're going to speak in the next few slides. Right, I'll walk you through that, and probably if you still have questions around it, then we can speak about it, Venkat. Are you okay with that?
Excuse me, ma'am, you can continue the session. I guess Mr. Venkat Varan, who has raised a question right now. In my perspective, regular practice and focus on your target will lead to your success. So, and I request Mr. Venkat Varan, please kindly hold on with your questions until she finishes the session. We will be able to answer all your questions, and we will be able to direct you to the right path. So I would request Soundarya ma'am to continue over the session, please. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Yeah. So the skills, when you develop skills, as you keep moving up in your career, the skills keep changing, because you come across something and you develop that, and then there's so much process that happens. Like today, if you look at it, we have got into a situation where if you go back in our same time last year, the technology or the new normal has not been what it was as it is today. And if you actually look at the current situation, we are talking about everything automated, and everything to be on a technology platform. So we're looking at today we are doing a webinar, which is ideally, I think, this would have been done in person, but we're doing it on a webinar. So for this, there are people who, there has to be a need for enhancing your skills. So the skills keep changing. And at times what happens, if you don't make an attempt to make the skills to get it to reality, then you will be behind on your capability. That is, if you're not proceeding on what you want to do, and if you're not making that ability to do something, you will be behind on your skills as well, right? So what does organization do is they look for qualities in an individual, such as the imagination power, the creativity that person brings in, the problem solving the person brings in, and how do they get into the experimentation mode of when they actually start working in an organization. But in turn, what organization also does is that they support you with right capabilities, and they enable you to ask right questions. Like, Venkat brought in some questions. So that way, in organization also help you out to bring in right questions and for any unforeseen problems. And how do you develop yourself and on the new solutions, including ways to improve the automated process? So they help you. When I say arm you out, they actually help you out to bring in the right capabilities, and how you develop yourself in bringing in those new solutions to improve the automated process. So I did hear that questions that comes in, how do we develop? Now, so far you've been taking up, you've been into your academic and you've been learning certain skills, but you will have to see where you want to go and what you want to focus. And if you see that skill is missing out right now, then you'll have to upgrade your skill, and that's how you build your capability to make that skill be more effective, right? So other way is that if you get a job and you move into a job, the organization also will at the same time to see that, if you have certain skills and the organization is looking at certain skills that you required, and there is a little bit of mismatch from what it is, and after you join the organization, they will ensure that they develop you by giving those skills so that your competency gets enhanced, and you're able to bring in that capability in the work that you have to do. So that's why I said they arm you with right skills or right capabilities to enable you to work and to also make sure that you develop yourself. So, so both as an individual, you as a student, and then tomorrow as an employee, and the company, there is a dependency on that goes on as you get into the organization on any specific skills that is required. So you move into the organization, you start working, and then you have certain skills, but the organization is looking for certain skills. Then what happens? There is kind of there is a dependency that if you need to work, then you need to have those right skills. So that's when they come in, pitch in, and then give you those right skills that for you to develop and then start working on the whatever the assignment or project that needs to be there, or you develop those, right? So so that's where I'm saying that it's like individuals, it's like a dependency that comes in place, and in the end both gets benefited. The organization gets benefited because you have enhanced your skill and you're able to perform, and at the same time for you as an individual, your profile, you have added on something, the skill that you don't have, and that's how you see an enhancement in your profile and your career. So so it's like greater versatility on ongoing learning, and that arises from cultivating capabilities. So that's like it's an ongoing process that you keep learning and then you keep cultivating capabilities. So over a period of time, what happens is that these capabilities help individuals continuously to develop the skill and to remain relevant. So this basically the slide I've put in for you to just give an overview of what does organization do, and what is as an individual, what are you supposed to do. You need to see what is trending in the market. Like now, if you finish this course and if you see that in some time you're going to get a job, you need to see if that particular job needs certain skills that you are missing out, and you see that how you make yourself develop those skills before you actually get into the organization, if possible. Otherwise, if you're already selected and you're moving into an organization, if you're given a project to do, the organization will support you with certain skills. But it doesn't mean that only organization needs to support you. You can also see that, keep looking around and see how you build your capability so that you're at any point in time in a better position if you have to work somewhere. So I have a small video here. Let me know if this audible. Is it audible?
Ma'am, it's not audible.
Okay. Is it audible now?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, since it's not audible, if you don't mind, can you share the link in the chat box so that everybody can be seeing in their own devices later?
Yeah, just give me a minute then. Give me a minute.
Yes.
Just 1 second. Yeah. So should I? Are you able to see my screen?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just 1 second. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So do you want me to wait for everyone to see the video or we'll proceed?
Just you can just proceed, ma'am. You can just proceed.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, the audio wasn't working. I've gotten something that I can explain you when we talk about paradigm, right? So I'm saying that, when some change happen in us, it's huge. And that's the paradigm shift that we are making ourselves. So what does it mean? So it means that when that change happens, when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new or different way, is what I'm talking about. Change is huge, which is paradigm. So it's very powerful. The change that we are bringing in to ourselves is very powerful, right? So I like to share some ideas here for your success, right? Because you're taking your journey into a new step, and I want to share some ideas which probably you can, practice them and see if this change can bring you success. For me in my life, I would say it has made a dramatic change. I would say, if I could go back some years back, um, I started off in a very small way from nothing to a fair amount of success to what I am today. So if you look at my own income, maybe it was very less some years back, 2 decades back when I started off my journey. It was like 3-digit. Now it is coming from to 20, 2 decades. It's INR, maybe 5 digits or 6 digits that per year that we get to see ourselves. So that's where you see a big change, right? It has been a tremendous change from what I could see 2 decades back. So I've always been raising a question to myself, what did that go? What did I do well in my career? That has got me into this dramatic change. At the same time, I've also been raised as I was a childhood that my parents talking to me, my siblings talking to me, that the belief is that if you have to do well in your career, then you need to have a good formal education, and that's why all of us are here, right? You also have a good education for you, and and so I am. So that's why I went thinking, what is that has made me to dramatically change from where I was and what I am today. So this is what I would like to suggest you in this group, something that you can start to look at and to practice. Okay. What I want you to do is that I want you to imagine that you are here. I hope you're able to see my cursor. And then you from here, you think that you want to get somewhere, and that's the star I've given here. So you're thinking that you are here, you're representing yourself as here, and then you're moving up, and that's where you see a star, that's where you want to go. And that's like a direct one that you reach to the star, which is like your dream and idea in mind, right? Directly takes you there when you have a dream and idea. But what research says is that, unfortunately, many of them, including me, I would say, we don't go, where we are to directly there. We do come across a lot of ups and downs. And that's why this drawing that you could see here, curves. Not all of them get straight there, even though they have dream and ideas in mind, but they, they go through little better and then little worse situation. And then they get a little better again. But why does this happen? Right? The question is, why does this happen? And for many of them, it's not one or two, but many of them go through this. They don't go straight there and hit. So what does the study say is that if you have to go straight from one to another, and that's for you all being the budding youths, at least you can put them in practice, right? So it's important to have 2 things to make your career better. And what is that? You need to have a goal, and you need to set a target for yourself. Then you will see a direct straight line that's coming from where to where you want to go. Then you can come back and see, did you achieve your dream and idea in mind? Right? So that's what I'm talking about. You need to have 2 things to make sure that your career is success. One is you need to have a goal and make sure that you have a target to achieve. Right? So I'll come back to this in a moment after this slide. So there's an author by name Joel Becker who talks about saying, to be able to shape your career or future, you have to be willing and be able to change your paradigm. So if you have to shape your career, then you make sure that you're willing and you're able to change your paradigm. And what's that paradigm is what I'll go back and share that. Okay, so what is paradigm? So in simple words, if you have to put it across, not getting into the psychology part of it, it's a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. What do we practice in a day to day? So it's like a mindset, right? And that's programmed, and that's the control it takes over, and that's the habit you demonstrate, and almost all of it, all of our behaviors are habitual. Whatever that we do, right, in our day to day, it is all behaviors which has become habitual, and that's the paradigm that we are talking about. So we do have higher faculties within us. And what are those higher faculties? The higher faculties are generally told as senses or the mind. The senses are the smell, the taste, and the feel of it. That's the faculties. Now the paradigm comes in picture as perception, memory, imagination, reason, intuition, and will. This is what the 6 paradigm that that comes across for you to use this as a tool to make your life change. If you practice this, and we spoke about earlier about the habitual behaviors. Now, if you practice those habitual behaviors out of the 6, you can see your life changing, and that's how you will also be able to see your future in a better way. Right? Is it understandable for you all, or is it too much for you all to take it so far?
Yeah, ma'am.
Ma'am, please proceed. Ma'am,
Yeah,
please
okay.
proceed. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm still giving you an explanation of what these perceptions are, right? There's a 6 higher faculties, as in the senses or of mind. We have and to all said and done, we all have this higher faculties within us. So the perception, what we call it is a higher faculty. The memory, it's the intelligent faculty, which allows us to create our own environment. The imagination, this will prepare you to go into future. Reason, it gives you the ability to choose your own thoughts and thinking. Intuition, what does it do? It's the mental faculty. It enables you to tap into vibration and translate the vibration into your mind. So everything goes along. Now, whatever we are speaking, the 6th one is all related to mind. The memory, the imagination, the reason, the intuition, the perception. The perceptions are what you think about people, right? Or think about something, you perceive something, right? So, and the will. The will is the willingness to do, or the will to do something, right? Which is very powerful. It has the ability for you to concentrate, and it gives you energy much stronger. So that's where I'm coming, that if you practice, if you put into practice or adapt to this 6 paradigm that I'm talking about, you will be able to see changes, and you will see that your career becomes a little more easier where you want to, because these are some of the attributes that you will practice and demonstrate wherever you go. It can be even in your own organization where you're joining, and it'll also give you some future where you want to go. So where you are today, from where you want to go, you will get to see what you have to do. So the paradigm, like we spoke about, it has the exclusive control, and it's like it has a control over you, and it controls your your career as well. right? So, so what does it mean? It is a set condition, part of our consciousness. When adapted or decided to change, it brings in huge change. And when you get to see a huge change, it makes an enormous difference. Now, what does this do when you say that paradigm as an exclusive control? It actually brings in the perception into control. It brings in the ability to control the use of time. It brings in the ability to be more creative. It brings in the ability to be more effective, and also it makes sure that you are more productive wherever you are. And lastly, then you're also be able to, you have the ability to think logic, right? When you have the logic mindset, logic is something, it controls your life. So it goes back to, it goes back to the life that we spoke about earlier also. So when you practice any of that, you get to see some changes that happens in you. You become more creative, you're able to use your time better, you're being more effective, you're being more productive, and you're also logically thinking. And with that, your life becomes full, right? You're practicing something which is for your own future. And that's where you see it brings in an enormous difference. So I don't know, I'm actually to the last of my slide, but I don't know if I'm on time or I'm early. Before I leave, I basically would like to ask you all to, imagine or, leave you with a question on, are you really in control of your mind? And if it means that you have a control, and if you feel that you can, and you also believe that you can change anything you want to, then you will have to begin to, and it doesn't take time, you just have to begin it right away with with few seconds that you can make that change in you that can happen. So all that you need to do is just understand how to do it, and how to do it is already, that's in your hand, and you will have to make sure that you make it happen. So I'll just stop here, and I'll see if there are any questions that comes in place.
Soundarya ma'am?
Yes.
Can
And
I
actually, I
add-
have one example that I can give also a little later, so people can understand it a little better. I think I can do that. Tell me, Shanmati.
I would like to add few points on what you said. Just to make it short, I would like to sum up all what you have told in the meeting.
Yeah.
So that I can use their language to make it more understandable for them.
Sure.
So I'd like to add in quote like what Bob Marley said. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only option. So நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில நம்ம மைண்ட் செட் தான் நம்மளோட வாழ்க்கை அப்படின்றது தான் மேம் சொன்னாங்க இவ்வளோ நேரம். ஸோ நம்மளோட பாசிட்டிவ் மைண்ட் செட், நம்மளோட திங்கிங் இதெல்லாம் சேஞ்ச் பண்ண நம்மளோட வாழ்க்கையில ஒரு ஸ்டெப்பும் தானா நடந்துட்டு வரும். அதற்கு முன்னாடி நமக்கு இருக்கிற கோல் நம்ம செட் பண்ணணும். நமக்கு என்ன வரும் என்ன வராதுன்றத ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செல்ஃப் அனலைஸ் பண்ணி, அந்த செல்ஃப் அனலைசேஷன் மூலமா நம்ம ஒரு கார்பரேட்ல உட்காரணுமா, ஒரு பிசினஸ் பண்ணணுமா அப்படின்றத நம்ம டிசைட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றத மேம் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ கம்ப்ளீட்டா ஒரு பேரடைம் ஷிஃப்ட் நடக்கும் அப்படின்னா, நம்மளுக்குள்ள எப்போ அது நடக்கும் அப்படின்னா, நம்மளோட மைண்ட் செட்டை மாத்தினா மட்டுமே நம்மளோட வாழ்க்கைய மாத்த முடியும் அப்படின்றத மேம் சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச் மேம். ஸோ யூ கேன்
Absolutely.
Question answers session.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll also give one more example. I don't mind speaking in Tamil, but I don't know if I will be very fluent in that when I'm talking. But very rightly put across, Shanmati. Thank you so much for bringing that translation into and bringing that visibility, or transforming the knowledge of what I spoke. So if you are doing something and if you want to practice in place, if you have to go back in this slide, when I say use of time, if we have to take an example, if we generally have normally some daily actions that comes in place in our daily kalila, we practice all our actions, it automatically comes in place. But when we make what is this use of time? If you have to make a decision that saying that, okay, today I decide, then from today, every day I get up in the morning and get up early in the morning and make sure that one day 1 hour I will study every day, right? You spend some time for studying. படிக்கிறதுக்கு நீங்க, if you're keeping some time and make that one day, 1 hour in a day to study, that is a very, very powerful what do you call, practice that you're bringing in, which means that by way of studying, நீங்க படிக்கிறதுனால, it is going to help you improve your knowledge, improve your skills, right? And see, imagine if every day 1 hour if you study for 1 year, if you have to take account the number of hours that you will be spending without fail, that you make it a practice, and that 1 year of number of hours, at a later point, what is that it's going to yield you? அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு என்ன திருப்பி கிடைக்க போகுது? It is going to be a lot of money that you're going to get it back. Okay, so that is how you will have to look at it from a change. If you have to practice something, you put in place with a determination in mind that how you practice it, and make sure that you're making the determination come in practice and come true, right? That's how you will make that change happen. So I just want to set an example. I didn't put it here because it looked too clustered with too many notes. So I thought I'll bring in to explain that, to just to make sure that நீங்களா அதை practice பண்ணாதான் you will be able to see that change happening inside you. So any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. I will give some more time for them to think about the questions. And meanwhile, I would like to convey a few things about today's session and your talk about this session, ma'am. And it was really useful for us, where students have to make a note where she was highlighting about use of time, creativity, productivity, and logic. So students, when not really students, the youngsters or anyone who wants to develop their life to the next stage, so they have to start using the time. You need to focus on regular basis. Put your hard work every half an hour or 1 hour in a day on one particular information, on learning or working on together. So use your time. Don't waste your time. Use your time. Use your time in finding out, researching on many informations. Try to learn some information then and then every day. And be creative. Normally, every situation people think and they react to it in a normal way. I request everyone to be positive and try to find a unique way to handle that situation. So be creative. There's no wrong or right until you try and you face that. So students, focus on what you want in your future, where you want to go and place yourself, where you want to sit and work with the people. So in order to place yourself in the best place, you need to hold up the best qualities. So have a disciplinary lifestyle, have a regular schedule, learn different things. And we, the Leaders Foundation, and also WittyWise, we are here to help you out together to give you valuable information where you want to go and read magazines, search about new articles, find about new companies, new business, new ideology, learn about new softwares. There's too much of learning skills are available to develop yourself, until unless you give your time and your presence.
Krishna, I would like to
and
add on, sorry to interrupt. I would like to add upon your points. It's because now the education and learning has been made more easy It's more handy nowadays. I would suggest the students to use it in a more effective way than spending more time on the entertainment. Yes, of course, it is a part and parcel of life. If you follow the 80-20 rule, 80% of you working and working on yourself will be the 80%, and the 20% can be your entertainment. So now the Zoom meeting has come, the learning has been made more easier now. Please do take advantage of it and be more productive. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah,
And
thanks,
adding to
Shanmati.
Shanmati's
So just 1 second. So I also want to emphasize on what you've been telling the students. So it's just that I want to make sure while they gather all your whatever you're trying to them, and thanks for bringing that up. And I also want to tell them that today's world is changing with the change in the fast moving world. With the fast moving world that we are into, it's not the same. It's just every day it's something or the other. So you must develop yourself into one of those higher faculties, whatever I mentioned, or if you feel if that those six is not what it is and something else, you identify yourself, but that could be your higher faculty, and you'll have to practice them for you to move into your next career level. So with the changing world, with time and changing world, you have to make sure that you're developing yourself and you're pacing out with the speed the world is spinning, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And yeah, adding to ma'am's way and students, software coding, I guess right now you may gone through some newspaper headings where youngsters who are less than 8 years, 10 years, who are ready and capable of coding, doing software coding. So there is no age barrier, is unless you have to find out where your interest is, and you need to start researching on your interest, and don't have your concern that your path is wrong or you in a wrong side. We are always there to give you other informations what needed. So find your uniqueness. You need to have your uniqueness to sustain in this world. If you don't have your uniqueness, you have always your competitor. So try to learn more, have your uniqueness, and have respect to the society and have respect on yourself, because you have to value yourself, then you will be more confident on your doings. So we will, as I said, we will be organizing many more webinars regarding the development of student, and we also provide some other webinars for training TNPSCs and other mathematical classes, spoken English, and so on. We will be able to provide all the information through WhatsApp. And today's session was really amazing for me, where I have to be very thankful to Ms. Soundarya ma'am for taking this opportunity and joining us today. And it's a warm welcome from our side that we have a recall about our future, our timings. Even as per now, even I schedule my everyday life, and then I try to avoid unwanted disturbance, unwanted encouragement, which can disturb your target. So to be in your higher targets, you need to have a scheduled life. You need to have your own character that have to, it's almost like you focus on what you want and you work for it. So, and I also thank Ms. Sumati from VTWise. Without her, this program won't be able to organize. And I really thank to Shanmati about this program. And we are looking forward to do this same again in future for the welfare of the students. So I hope if any students or any participants here, if you would like to share your information or if you want to raise any question, I request you to please go ahead and please share your feedback or share your opinion, or if you do have any question, please do raise your hand and go for, or you can chat, you can write your message in the chat box. I'll be able to read it out if you want. We will wait for another 1 minute and see if anyone responded for any questions or feedback, then we will go ahead, or we will end the session in another three minutes.
Krishna, there was one question from Vigneshwaran. I would like to read it out. Ma'am, to make a work, to make it as routine, how to do it, ma'am? Mrs. Soundria, ma'am, can you address this question, please?
Yeah, sure. So you make it as a routine. How to? The question is, if you have to make it as a routine, how to do it? Correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah. So Vigneshwaran, it's a good question, and I appreciate that you brought this up. And it that means you're already moving towards what you want to do, right? It's basically you're setting up a goal for yourself. So what happens in the morning for you every day when you get up? Those are actions which automatically happens, right? You get up, you wash your face, and those are automatically happening in your life every day. So if you have to have certain routine in place, like say you want to have some studies, or you want to go for a walk, or you want to go for a gym, these are some things, activities you're setting up yourself, your target, your goal. But in today's situation, yeah, your gym and everything, your health is equally important. So you might want to reduce weight, right? I'll give you an example of reducing weight. So if you're something like say 70 kgs, and you want to make sure that you want to get into 50 kgs, you weigh 50, then you're setting up a target, you're setting up a goal for yourself, by what time you want to see yourself 50, you weigh 50. So that's the goal, that's a target. There's a target, there's a goal. And then you will plan yourself to say that, okay, if I have to make this goal and target work, what do I do? So I need to go to gym, or I need to practice yoga, I need to walk, I need to jog. But when I find time, so then you'll identify a time for yourself. If you have to identify a time yourself, then you'll have to look at your whole day. How are you placed? What all comes in your day to day? Like you now today, now that you're studying, it could be that you have a lot of your assignments, or you have a lot of your projects, or studying itself could be too much. But with all that, and then your friends also, you go meet your friends, you spend time. But keeping all this, because that is also needed in your life, you're setting up a target, you're setting up a goal for you, and that is so important, and that becomes a priority. So you'll have to see otherwise what you're spending for certain things. How do you crunch that time and make sure you allocate this as which has come as a priority for you? Because you need to achieve, say you want to say by December 31st, you want to see yourself weighing 50 kgs. That's a very short time right now, right? So that's when you make sure that you set up priority and you make that come first. It takes a lead, and rest of the things you see what is the next priority for you, and move things throughout the day, and make sure that you make that time allocated for what you want to do. Does that answer?
Yes, ma'am. Pretty much you covered the most of the points. And Vigneshwaran, it's a nice question, Vigneshwaran. And adding to ma'am's talk, I would also like to share one way to make your routine. First, love what you want to do.
Absolutely.
And if you are passionate about having a passionate body, first love yourself. That think about in next 6 months you will be having a perfect physique. Think about that particular day, what you're going to face, and that will motivate you to do the same. And don't rush your things. The life is yours. So plan it, execute, work for it, and be patient, and your time will be there. So work hard, and keeping routine is only way to do is to love that work. You need to sacrifice a lot to achieve something. So you got to spend most of the time in alone doing for your target. Most of the people, they may not be able to understand you, but ignore. Your life is in your hand. You need to give that particular time to work it on. If not, you won't be able to give the potential back. So I would say love your target, focus on and plan your target with regular consecutive goals, so that you will understand whether you are heading towards the target. And Vigneshwaran, you are one of the best among this group. I would appreciate you because you have been a regular in chat box today, where you also have responded to Ms. Soundarya ma'am when she was needed. And and the rest others, yeah, we have another person here, Satya. Satya, would you like to ask a question, or would you like to write it in the chat box? Satya, if you do have any question, please unmute yourself and raise the question, please. We are close to winding the session today. And
Okay,
as
I
I
only see
informed everyone,
Vigneshwaran's question.
yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. As I informed earlier, this session will be uploaded in the YouTube. You can visit to We the Leaders YouTube channel where you can review all this presentation and what are the important key aspect what Ms. Soundarya ma'am has specified. Everything will be listed there. And I request you go through again for your refreshment and for your motivational. You can always be in touch. We will get back to you soon with another webinar. And
yeah, so I also want to add here, so never step back on taking up challenges. You should be bold enough. You should build that confidence in you that you can make it, and that never give up attitude. The video that I sent talks about it. So you need to believe in yourself and never give up attitude has to come, and build that confidence in you that you can make it. And when you have all that happening, you should be able to face challenges, but what comes in front of you. You should not shy away from challenges. You take that on you to see that how you would face the challenges, and that's where you will be winning. You'll move forward in your life.
that's true, ma'am. And so everyone be positive and be like can ideology and dream big. Dream big, the world is yours. Dream big and can be in the motto. And so, Shanmati, if you do have any words to share, you can, or we will end the session right now.
Yes, I would like to add one more point, one last point. I saved the best for the last. Just to make this, I'll just talk to them in Tamil because I think most of them are comfortable in Tamil. So I'll just close the speech in Tamil. ரொட்டீனா ஆகிறதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்னு விக்னேஸ்வரன் கேட்டிருந்தாரு. இன் மை பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூ, ரொட்டீனா ஆகிறதுக்கு நம்ம பெருசா ஒண்ணுமே பண்ண அவசியம் இல்லை விக்னேஸ்வரன். ஆஸ் கிருஷ்ண மோகன் வாஸ் டெல்லிங், நம்ம ஒரு விஷயத்த லவ் பண்ணாலே அது நம்மளால அதை வேகமா பண்ண முடியும். நம்மள அறியாமையே அதுக்கு நமக்கு வந்துடும். சின்ஸ் யூ ஆஸ்க் திஸ் குவெஸ்டன், யூ ஆர் ஆல்ரெடி இன்சைட் தி ப்ராசஸ் அப்படின்னு நாங்க நினைக்கிறோம். ஒரு விஷயத்த நம்ம தன்முனைப்போட பண்ணும்போது நம்மள அறியாம நம்ம அதற்கான செயல்களை பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிருவோம். ஸோ இங்க இருக்கிற குரூப்ல ஐ திங்க் விக்னேஸ்வரன் ஹஸ் டன் அ வெரி குட் ஜாப். ஹி ஹஸ் indulged in the entire 1 hour and he has asked more questions and yes, thank you for that. உங்களோட தன்முனைப்பு இதுலயே தெரியுது விக்னேஸ்வரன். ப்ளீஸ் கீப் அப் த குட் ஒர்க் அண்ட் ப்ளீஸ் பி விசிபிள் இன் த க்ரௌட். அதுக்கு நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும்ன்றத பாருங்க. ஸோ எல்லாருமே சொல்லும் போது கோல் அப்படின்றது என்ன அப்படின்னா, நம்ம எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் விசிபிளா தெரியணும் அப்படின்றத நிறைய பேர் யோசிப்பாங்க. ரெஸ்யூமே ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணும்போது ஒரு 100 பேர் இருக்கிற ஒரு கிளாஸ்ல எல்லாருமே ஒரே மாதிரி ரெஸ்யூமே வச்சிருப்பாங்க. ஆனா ஒருத்தரவங்களும் யூனிக்கா இருக்காங்கன்றது அவங்களுக்கு தான் தெரியும். ஸோ இஃப் யூ ப்ரிப்பேர் யுவர் ஓன் ரெஸ்யூமே இன் யுவர் லைஃப் ஃபார் யுவர் செல்ஃப், யூ வில் பிகம் த லீடர். ஸோ I hope in the resume or part it will be useful for you. Thank you very much, Krishna. So we can close the session. Thank you.
Yes, and quick one more. I'm sorry because few of them doesn't have permitted to unmute themselves, but right now they are able to ask few questions, I guess. Another couple of more minutes, please. Hold on for a couple of more minutes. And please, if we do have any questions, please unmute yourself and raise the question.
Sneha Kannan, yes, ma'am. You can ask the question, please. Please proceed. If you cannot speak, you can type it in the chat box.
Yes, Sneha, you can go ahead and ask, please.
How to be versatile is the question, ma'am. How to be versatile is the question.
Yeah, you basically have how to be. Yeah, so
in one word, I would say practice.
Yeah,
practicing,
it's
you can be the
practice,
best.
but yes, good. Thank you, Krishna. But I think more importantly, you'll have to build your confidence. That matters. So the moment you have confidence, you get that versatile by yourself. It's again going back to Krishna saying you practice. So if you have to build confidence, you need to practice. And again, it goes back to saying that you believe in yourself. Thank you, Sneha. I hope it answered.
Yes, ma'am. So all good right now. We will end the session, and it was really great joining everyone today. And I wish everyone a safe and happy Diwali. And thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone,
Bhavani.
for
Thank you,
participation. Happy Diwali to everyone, and have a safe Diwali, green Diwali, I would say this time. And more to be safe with your COVID around for yourself and for your family.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and Vanakkam. See you all. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye for now.